Welcome to Level 3 of our GESI Contextual Analysis video tutorial series. In this session, we'll guide you into how you can make an in-depth gender equality and social inclusion analysis that includes detailed thematic data, indicators, and charts by using the GESI Contextual Analysis Tool by Equilo. This tool helps you to get high-quality gender equity and social inclusion information curated by gender specialists. You can easily identify main gaps, risks, and opportunities, filtering by country and sector, and even go deeper into specific GESI content based on themes and domains. Whether you're a GESI specialist writing a grant or an advocacy plan for climate change in the Global South, or you're part of an international development organization promoting women's education on digital inclusion in Latin America. Or maybe you're a researcher conducting an in-depth analysis on gender-based violence. Either way, this tutorial is tailored for you. Enthusiasts in gender equality and social inclusion are more than welcome to join as well. Common use cases for Level 3 include in-depth GESI analysis, draft comprehensive gender reports, proposal writing, advocacy planning, developing a persuasive business case, and informed decision-making for particular themes. Let's see how it works. First thing you need to do is define a goal for your rapid gender analysis. What do you want to achieve? And determine geography, sector, non-sector, and main themes to address. Let's continue with the same example from the previous tutorial. You're a seasoned gender specialist working in a leading consulting firms. One of your action lines is identifying risks and promoting gender equality in the agricultural sector in Nigeria. Your goal is to conduct a detailed analysis that addresses the unique gender challenges and opportunities within this content. And this time, you want to add detailed thematic information, indicators, and charts into your analysis. GESI Contextual Analysis becomes your indispensable tool, allowing you to embark on a deep dive into specific content. Let's start. To fast forward, we're going to begin here, in the Themes menu page. Please click on Tutorials 1 and 2 if you want to understand the prior steps. We're going to click on the first topic, Unpaid Care Work, which has one of the lowest gender equality scores. We land on the Unpaid Care Work page. In the thematic introduction section, we can see what this topic is about, from a gender equality and social inclusion perspective. Also, it uncovers global trends, explains gender dynamics that come into play, economic implications, and much more. Notice that as we saw in tutorial level 1, this information includes numerical data, facts, and clickable resource citations, enabling you to have verifiable and reliable information at your fingertips. Next, scroll down and go into the section Overview of Gender Equality Scores for a particular theme, and we get a new type of spiderweb chart. What is this for? This spiderweb chart enables you to have a quick snapshot where you can see where the key risks, threats, or opportunities are within this theme, analyzed by domains. As a decision maker or a GESI specialist, or in this example, writing a proposal, you can identify these fundamental aspects in a minute and know where to focus your attention. How do you use this chart in the data points? The logic is very similar to the spiderweb chart that we saw in level 1, where we explained it in detail. We'll fast track to the key aspects of this particular thematic chart. This chart enables you to have a quick starting point on the theme you're analyzing. By using gender equality scores per domain, which range from 0 to 1, where 1 signifies perfect gender equality, which is visually represented by the dark blue colored line in the triangle. Also, we have visual benchmarking capabilities by comparing these scores to the regional, income group, and global benchmark. Here we apply basic visual data analysis, where we interpret the graph based on the anomalies, outliers, or significant deviation from regional, income group, or global trends. This is how you can easily identify the risks, strengths, or the opportunities that are pulling outward on the chart. Let's see an example. As we analyze GESI information for a proposal on the agricultural sector in Nigeria, here we can interpret from the graph that there is difficulty in law and policy disabling environment for unpaid care work in the country. It's way behind the regional benchmark for the sub-Saharan region and the lower middle income group countries. And when we tap into the data point, we see it has 0 in the gender equality score. On the other hand, the way that Nigerian society addresses roles and responsibilities for unpaid care work is remarkably better, but not yet close to the perfect equality line though. But still, based on this data, it can be clearly identified as a strength. Now we know where to focus our attention on, key risks and strengths from our chosen theme. But we want to go deeper. We want to answer questions like, how can we unpack this? How does that play into what we're planning to implement? Let's explore more exciting data. Now that we know for unpaid care work in Nigeria, the roles and responsibilities is a strength, while the law and policy is a risk. We can ask ourselves, how should we incorporate this relevant consideration into our proposal to underscore its importance? That's where theme, indicators, charts, and historical trends come into play. We see indicators displayed here related to roles and responsibilities. Let's begin by this one that says minutes per day spent on unpaid care work. This helps us to understand what the average distribution of caregiving and household tasks between men and women is. It continues the data story that began on the spiderweb chart and the gender equality scores, this time going into deeper levels of information. Here, we can see that men spend an average 393 minutes per day on care work and women 509 minutes. Same trend we saw before. Based on the bubble sizes in the data, we can see that Nigeria has a remarkably better performance in this dimension compared to the regional, income group, and global benchmark. Now, we are interested in unpacking the disabling environment risk we identified before. Let's check the law and policy indicators for unpaid care work. And, as we expected, this specific indicator continues telling the story that this is a concerning area. The reason why it's here in the text and in the data, the law provides 84 days of paid maternity leave and 0 days of paid paternity leave. Scrolling down to see the historical trend, it tells us that this regulatory frame hasn't changed since 2016. An additional note on historical trend is that this component helps you to see trajectory, not just to understand how things are now, but is it getting better or worse, or is it still the same? So if it's getting worse, then that's a red flag that needs to be identified in your analysis. And ask yourself questions like, is it something that has not been paid attention to, or whatever has been implemented is not working and we need to do it differently? On the other hand, if the historical trend is positive, then great, and you can ask yourself, what's working in this context? Let's build on that and continue helping it to move forward. Coming back to our example, where we're analyzing the gender equity and inclusion dynamics of unpaid care work in Nigeria as part of our proposal in agriculture, this indicator brought our attention. Households with water source on the premises. Notice that here, we can click on the Access to Resources domain and access to the domain page from there. As we mentioned earlier in Level 2, domains enable us to make our gender analysis more robust. Opt for domains when seeking a holistic understanding of gender equality, especially if you aim for a comprehensive and analytical exploration of factors like access to resources or roles and responsibilities. Fast tracking, in the domains page, you'll also find an introductory section uncovering global trends with reference sources. Scrolling down, you get to visualize and benchmark gender equality scores per chosen domain by relevant themes. The logic and the way you can interpret it is very similar to what we explained before, except that this time it's classified by theme data points. Then, by going to the Explore All Indicators section, you'll see all the indicators grouped by the relevant themes associated with the chosen domain, in this case, access to resources. These themes are the same you saw a few seconds ago in the spiderweb chart, such as unpaid care work or land and property ownership. As you can see, the domains page offers a rich list of indicators and a comprehensive gender analysis. And this is how you can conduct an in-depth analysis and add detailed thematic data, indicators, and charts. As the final tips and tricks for your gender equality and social inclusion analysis, click on the upper right-hand corner to the button that says Request Data so that you can make your own analysis. After clicking here, our team reviews your request, and once it's approved, you'll get sent an email with the downloaded data link. And that's all! Now you're ready to try it yourself. Now you know how to make an in-depth gender equality and social inclusion analysis that includes detailed thematic data, indicators, and charts by using the GESI Contextual Analysis Tool by Equilo. Accomplish your gender equality goals by accessing high-quality information that has already been centralized, synthesized, and curated by GESI experts. Watch the next video to check how to use the What Works section to get actionable recommendations. In case you don't have an Equilo subscription yet, we put a link in the description below for you to request more information or click the upgrade button. Thanks for watching!